So yeah, I think maybe that's why also like it took a bit of a time for piano you know. People might say piano but from where we started, it comes far. It comes very far.
So who came with the lock drum? Mudu or MFR Souls?
MFR Souls came with the piano, Mudu came with the lock drum. This other time on Twitter.
Yeah.
He made a funny comment. I don't know, but it was about these people being separated by a woman. And then he commented on that saying, me, like he put it very so like it's things like that.
Yeah.
Which child was hand?
No one.
Oh.
That's the thing, no one.
Yeah.
No one.
Josiah!
Ish. And what was your response?
I had nothing there. I was just drinking.
Yeah.
So when you say what do I have, you mean you were drinking all the money?
My brother, like I'd get paid.
Yeah.
Né? Then okay, obviously during the week it's studio sessions, you have that, but obviously there's alcohol
In the sessions.
in the session. So it was a thing of even during those sessions, if the alcohol was finished, my brother, I didn't mind being in break.
Top it up.
You know,
The God, who is the greatest of all time at piano right now?
yo. Yes, that's a hard one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna make me step on
No. Just throw a name. Who do you consider the God?
Sanibonani, it's your boy Josiah, the Disciple. Check out my album, it will be like 26th April. It's titled Satori. And yeah, but for to stay tuned on the next episode. What's up? Thank you.
Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have a beautiful one. We have one of the pioneers in the game. We've got Josiah Disciples in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. No, get in the background. You know what I mean? What's up, brother? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm awesome, man. Listen, it's been a beautiful journey for you specifically because you're like 9 albums in. Where is your head at right now?
You know what? I've been trying to take this time to like relax, but piano, it's just so difficult to do that, bro. Like when you wake up, there's always something to do, you know.
100%.
So yeah, I've been trying to take this time since Satori. Body PR, the interview, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where my head is at, and when I dropped the album on the 26th of April, I did an album launch by my area, you know, and that activated
in Alex.
In Alex, and that activated like the party 2 days for Friday.
Dope.
So yeah, that has it has really started something for me and something that I really want to take care of in the long run, you know, because now for me that place is like a space where I get to freely play my own songs and people really embrace me, you know, and I mean yeah, there's more love at home.
It connects.
Yeah.
Connects. Bro, I mean, you grew up in Alex. What was that like for you? Because, you know, you've really accomplished a lot for yourself, you know, and it's like, you know, Alex, when you really look at the South African landscape in terms of the South Africa, it's one of the areas where people say, you know, a lot of black people struggle in those spaces. Yeah. So what has that been like for you coming up in that space and having this much success?
Sure. Yeah, no, to be honest, I think it's the same road trip for all of us, you know. I mean, coming up from the township like that, but my journey, grew up in a small place, you know, with 1 bedroom, but at least nearly space, so babang man, the parents had the bed, but you know, mattress, you know. And I mean, growing up there, how strata, you know. So whether weekend or during the week, we slept throughout that whole noise, you know. But it was not something that used to get necessary, you know. And I picked up my love for music actually while staying in Alex. So sometimes they play like the songs that you really like.
Yeah.
You know, when you're like he's sitting there in the street, that one guy just pops up with his one rand and he plays the right song on the jukebox, you know. So yeah, that's when I discovered that actually, this music thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I wanna go to. And but back then, so what I used to do, narrated like body dance routine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think my love for music actually started then. And then Kakroa, Kinseki, Latela Ntoya music. My dad got me a computer at home.
Whoa.
So that's where now things started changing.
Fruit Loops.
I'm telling you. No,
Yeah.
it was not even Fruity Loops then.
Yeah.
It was Automix MP3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I started learning how to DJ before the production side.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I got the software on my PC and I was like, okay, let me check it out. Yo, Automix MP3. Okay, you can't do much here. You can just mix between transition songs, kill bass, do this.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I'll just grab this and take this knowledge to working, just master these mixing skills, But it was on a PC,
Yeah.
But one thing that actually encouraged me and told me that I'm heading to the right direction, at home there used to be like family gatherings on UTC.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to take my laptop there. So yeah, I'm gonna
play
show
for
them.
them.
Today I'm playing a set there. Yeah. And yeah, funny enough, I mean, my cousin, and Pela you wanna impress the cousins
All the time, bro.
I was like, yeah, today go shapa number, start till finish.
Yeah.
And most of the events they used to like leave my cousins all excited and happy. So they also tell me that
You're onto
I know
something.
you're onto something. But I was still using a computer then.
Yeah.
And things changed when I met this guy Barki Hejo in Alex.
Okay.
Kochabo, they own the tavern. They still do. And that's the very same tavern where I actually learned how to play CDJs.
Wow.
The first time I met this guy, he had an event by his home. And he naplakile CDJ, the turntable.
Yeah.
I used to see that on my PC because after Automix I got virtual DJ.
Yeah, no virtual DJ.
Yeah, so at least
It
virtual
had
DJ.
the whole vibe.
Yeah,
The turntable was there.
Change skins and yeah. So I was like,
remember virtual
okay,
DJ.
okay. But for me, dog, it was like, okay, I'm not really happy with this. I wanna know, like, kicking in the headphone and just actually do it, not via PC. And another thing that like got to me was that in Alex it had started being a thing now. Like how beats are you come with your PC and your sound. I was like,
I don't want to be that
it
guy.
takes away the DJing thing for me. I was like,
yeah.
no. I wanna up my level
game,
a bit, And I met this guy, Happy Hejo, and he was like, okay, no stress, bro. Plus here at my home I DJ alone. It's always packed, I DJ alone. So yeah, I'm happy to show you how these things work. And bro, that guy showed me. He showed me how to DJ. But at that time we played like deep house, soulful house, tribal. Tribal house came in a bit later in the year, but I was like now proper DJ,
Yeah.
When tribal came. And when tribal came, I was actually a resident DJ by this place called Heritage Corner.
Okay.
That's like the spot that put me in the map in Alex.
Yeah.
Because now people started knowing about me right there at that spot.
That's dope.
And to be quite honest, it was because of all these skills of all these years of training.
Yeah.
Because I mean, while you practicing at a tavern, sharp, you practicing, but it's not like your gig.
Yeah.
So yeah, for Navel and Intili, okay, these sessions, I'm just gonna take them as practice sessions.
Yeah.
And him and I, we drew so much inspiration from DJ Christos, Vinny Da Vinci.
Yeah.
And we just really liked how they mixed.
The music.
Yeah. Bro, those guys when they mix songs, Kuru, you still like it's like one song, but for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference. Yes.
It's different songs.
My bro.
The way they mix them.
I was so, my friend and I, we were so fascinated about that type of mixing that we were like, okay, no, this is actually what we're going to try and master. And we did that, So when this residency by Heritage Corner came, I was like, okay,
I'm grabbing it.
Now I'm ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. But I was also still in high school. So when that residency came, I think I was in grade 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And yeah, now I had to juggle between school and this residency, because now this residency was on Sundays.
Yes, and tomorrow is school.
My brother, I mean, we're closing at 2 a.m.
Oh,
I'm still there.
Doing your thing. You gotta wake up early and go to school.
But that didn't really. My parents were reluctant at the beginning, but when they saw that, okay, he has found his spot, he's DJing, and also I'm bringing in money at home, And I mean, circumstances were tough back then, so every cent I made really had to contribute into their family, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, for me, that's when at that point, when I was like a resident DJ, that's when I realized that actually
this thing is happening.
this thing is really happening. Yeah, I can move. I
Yeah.
can move, you know. But I mean, so much of the inspiration was how she will Black Coffee, that living the lifestyle, and just solely through this DJing thing.
True.
And I was like, you know what? No.
Lina.
Yeah. You know, and yeah, Ransera, Kinseki Sharp and Toyaka, and then piano came.
Do you remember the first time you had piano? Because I'm always very curious. I mean, I've heard you talk about who you think are the originators, which we're going to get into.
Yeah.
But I'm quite curious to know, do you remember the first time you had piano? What was your reaction?
First time I heard it, it was this lovely sound, ne? And it was not even nearly like a simple song, you know. But it was like a soulful song, but you can tell that no, man, these people, they used different elements onto it, you know. I just couldn't pick out what was different, you know. And I mean, those guys, they had like a couple of mixes and songs at that time. That's when I started like checking out this genre. Me personally, I was still producing soulful house, tribal house when piano came in. And yeah, when this genre came in, I was like, okay, let me jump on it and see what I can do. The first songs I did, I think I did about my 5 songs with the crew of mine called Lennon Pegs.
Yeah.
And lucky enough, you know, I mean, what was so nice about then is that we used to have groups like Block Tunes groups and WhatsApp groups where we shared music and so when we created the music, we shared it.
Yeah, there was like a market. Consuming it already.
So I was like, okay, now let's share it. Because, I mean, you know, when you're a kid, you're excited. You just want people to hear your music and give you
100%.
feedback. So that's all that we also cared about. So we were also in that state. We were like, okay, let's make this music and see how far. But we set it up. We tried figuring out, okay, in this piano, they use this, they use that. Okay, let's see how we go. And I think I was fortunate that when piano came, I was like, I knew how to use Fruity. I knew how to pick up an off-key tune and etc, you know. So it was like free flowing. I'm just gonna switch over.
Because I saw you can also play instruments. Like you can also play like keys and stuff.
Oh yeah, on the keyboard.
Yeah, on the keyboard.
That's
but where did you learn that?
Hey, no, self-taught.
Self-taught.
I self-taught that myself while I was learning how to use Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think those were like one of the lucky things that I actually realized with Fruity Loops. It was so easy to use when I first got it.
Yeah.
And what I liked is that you didn't need a MIDI keyboard.
Yeah.
You could just do
on the keys on the keyboard, on the computer keyboard.
Okay, yeah, no, this means that we're moving. Then my dreams are gonna catch me on the way. You know?
100%.
Yeah, because I think I tried using Reason.
Yeah, it was a bit tough. Reason was a bit tough.
Yes.
Yeah. Because me and Daryl, we used to produce music with Reason.
With Reason, I was like, no. You know, and this time I'm speaking of, I hadn't even figured out how to make a track on FL Studio. I was still trying, learning. I couldn't even do it simple.
Clapping.
But I tried Reason. I was like, no way.
Yeah, it's complex. It's complex.
I went back to FL, and you know, bro, like the power of learning. When you really want to learn about something, I think that's what also pushed me to learn Fruity Loops. I was in that space of really wanting to make my own music.
Yeah.
So I took time to learn, and I figured out that okay, you can actually use this keyboard to play this and to do that. So, okay, this means that I will not wait to
get a keyboard.
Yeah. So it's fine. I'll just continue. But the main genre I used to specialize in then, that one genre I used to like produce all the time. It was tribal music. But I mean back then it had its own people who played the song, Black Coffee. So I was like,
we're quite
creative. I don't stand a chance.
let me do this piano thing because it's a new sound.
You know.
Yeah.
So how long after like hearing piano did you start producing piano? And when was the first time you heard piano? Like which period?
20. I first heard the first song Amapiano around about 2012, 2013.
Oh.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. 2012, 2013.
So that date they give us is fake. 2015 is not a real thing. Piano was there since 2012.
Thing is, it dates far back, but you could be right because of when I say 2012, 2015, it was like still us as producers making it. It was not like
it's not out yet.
fully in the streets like that, you know. I mean, back then we competed with sounds like Deep House. So when you came with piano, okay, sure, people vibed it in the township. But in other places, you know, and also Soweto, Eastern, that's where people started understanding it, you know. And what made it popular was that we did a whole lot of Kwaito remixes.
Yeah.
So then people started having this speculation that Amapiano comes from Kwaito. No, it doesn't come from Kwaito. Amapiano is actually compiled of all these different elements. It can be soulful, it can be it doesn't come from Kwaito. It's like me when I joined when I first found this genre. The guys were just producing soulful music, you know, and they were just adding this simple bass into it. The log drum was not even popular at that time. The log drum, it came in 2015. 2015, 16. That's when we started hearing the log drum.
You were already producing piano at that point, 2015?
Yeah, 2015 I was fully inside piano. Wow. Fully inside piano with my bro called Lennon Pegs. Yeah, I used to have a bro, he played drums so nice. So good. So yeah, we'd also have like studio sessions by his place. So that's where actually my name, Josiah the Disciple, started growing because I was this solo entity with this guy, you know. So I built my career, I made MFR Souls. And yeah, I mean, the first songs that I had, I was like, okay, you know, this genre, it sounds easy to make, but you just need to use the right elements, you know. And I think that was like the most challenge back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did a couple of songs with Lennon Pegs. I sent them to MFR Souls. Yeah. Luckily, I mean, that time, to the USB, it was not even a thing. There we used to pen discs. Right, track list. Yeah. So, fortunately, this one weekend, I had just started making this sound. You know? This one weekend, there was a flyer. There's this place called Ruben. Yeah. Still open now. Eco Alex. Never be did MFR Soul. Yeah. You know, the sound was still like not that popular, but the guys were like, they had a name, you know. I was like, okay, I was like, hey, no, I'm not missing this one. I'm going there with my CD. I want them to hear my songs. Yeah. And when I met them, you know, they were cool bros. They welcomed me. You know, I mean, we had groove, we had drinking. It's all nice. And I mean, after the club, after the place, they had time, you know. So I was like, yo, guys, I actually have a disc in the car. Can you guys check it out? Yeah. They were like, okay, cool. No, give us the CD and then we'll play it. No, I gave them the CD. They played it in the same time. Right there. Yeah, they played the first song. They were like, is that you? Yeah. Okay. I was like, no, bro, let's do more sessions. Like so for me, at that point, was like, a cosign, you know. It was a thing, okay, welcome to the family. 100%. You know. And I started rocking piano there and then I met Kabza, you know. But when I met MFR, I think Kabza and I we were chatting here and there, but we had not met
in person.
Yeah. When Kabza and I started actually speaking, we were both still doing like tribal. I can say it tribal, but in body solo you know. So he heard some of my songs also, and then I heard some of his songs. I was like, yes, who's this bro? You know, we come from the same hood, but who's this bro? And I mean, finally we actually met. And when we met, it was in a piano space. So that's when we got to finally do our song. But we did an instrumental song. It was big in the DJ space back then. It was a instrumental song titled 68. We hadn't even given it a title. We just and on a file a 68 and then we saved it like that. We rocked it like that. Sent it to DJs 68 title like that.
Bro, I need you to put this issue to bed. Where did Amapiano originate from? Kasi-wise, which Kasi is it? Is it Soweto? Is it Alex? According to you, where did Amapiano originate from, Kasi-wise?
Kasi-wise?
Yeah.
Ash. You know what? Let me be honest. Yeah. These two guys were the only two bros that I know that had mixtapes, a bunch of songs of that particular style. Yeah. They were out already. DJs, they were playing them already before we even flocked in. Yeah. it was Maphorisa.
Okay.
And those guys are from the East Rim.
Okay.
They're the ones that actually transported the sound to Alex, to Soweto,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, they were coming, sending their songs to DJs, and DJs like DJ Stocky, Stokes, those were like DJs that used to collect hard music, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, we also heard it from those guys. But when you asked, Evan, whose song is that? Maphorisa. Hey, Bato. Okay, who are these guys?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I also found out about them. And yeah, they were like that.
So they are your originators.
They are
from Amapiano.
not mine. They are.
Okay.
They are.
I love that. I
Yeah,
love that.
I know those guys. Yeah, they are the originators. They came with the sound, and I mean, chilling with them. I spent so much time with them that when the genre was growing, we even asked each other, "What are we gonna call it?" You know how Deep House has a name. You know, yeah. I mean, Libitso Lela Amapiano. It was already out there.
Yeah.
And we once spoke, right? Okay, I mean, Amapiano, it sounds like it's just Amapiano. Let's find a name to, you know.
Yeah.
But we couldn't. We just said, you know what? I mean, it's popular now as Amapiano.
Yeah.
So let's just leave it at that. And one of the reasons why we actually never even contested it was because of a lot of the songs that we made that time were very instrumental songs with those piano keys.
So there were no vocals at the time.
No.
It was just like
It was
the
just piano and yeah. So yeah, I think maybe that's why also like it took a bit of a time for piano you know. People might say piano no, but from where we started, it comes far. It comes very far.
So who came with the lock drum? Mudu or Maphorisa?
Maphorisa came with the piano, Mdu came with the lock drum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think those are the key contributors. Let's keep it those two.
Yeah.
How far along your journey? Okay, you're making piano. When do you and how do you get in touch with Mr. JazziQ?
Mr. JazziQ, you know, I had already had a name for myself.
Yeah.
Kidlala ko event things ko Alex, and yeah, nana cycle as a DJ, you know.
Yeah.
So now how we met was that we used to see each other, man. I mean, nerkena skolo, nekena ko North View, nekena ko Highlands, you know. And we used to meet at the same bus stop. So now I'd see his face a lot of times there, and then I'd see his face, maybe go to gigging, go to gigging,
yeah.
So then, yeah, it's a man, a lot of times, he was usually before or after me, and vice versa, you know. And we were actually in a speaking relationship, and we'd be like, hey, sure, is. And then, we started testing it out. I mean, before we even tested it out, could eventing say Hanser Kenwa, could eventing say Emunarbo my dating fit go line up on Dako Alex, Benze Festival.
Yeah.
Emunarbo my dating line up wabon rocker since really paya. Unanurmi would roll 1 hour.
Okay, give 15 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yo.
No. 30 minutes. Come on.
Yeah.
But I'm a producer.
Yeah.
So when you're a producer, you want a full hour so you can test out your songs. You know? And I felt like 30 minutes was like little, you know. And he used to collect music as well, so he was like, no, Donna, you know what? Let's join our sets and see, you know, because of at least the hard joining lady set hour, you know. So it's more time. I actually also get to play the songs that I want, you know. And we tried that a lot, and it used to work out. I mean, it worked out all the time. It worked out all the time, and we were like, okay, let's do this more often.
Yeah.
So when we started it, we had national beats. We were like, okay, Josiah disciple, Mr. JazziQ. Then, man, as we getting these bookings, we moving. So this other bro of mine was like, man, you guys, let's just get a name.
Yeah.
Just get a name and move. Because of it, I mean, you guys are growing together, you know.
100%.
Yeah, we were like, okay, let's figure it out. Oh no, we're now Mr. JazziQ Disciple. Let's see how we can use our names, you know.
Yeah.
And JazziQ Disciples was born.
Yeah, no, that's clear. Mr. JazziQ, the music collector, and Josiah, the producer. Okay.
Nah, but I'm gonna So he used to collect so much music at that time. So in terms of production,
so you know, it's crazy because I mean that's a chapter of your life that I feel like you've closed. I mean, you know, I've watched some of your interviews and you've made it clear that you know, you guys are not going to get back together. What informs that position? That Sukfeli, like, we sharp, we're good. Because it just feels like, you know, a lot of times, you know, fans still want to look at you and say, yo, but you guys can bring it back because they, you know, they miss that feeling they had at the time. What about your situation makes you feel like you can't bring it back?
Aish, you know what, like, so much of it took a toll on me, you know.
Yeah.
And it was mostly based on personal things, you know. And I won't lie, I feel like maybe at that time I could have handled things better and like maybe spoke about whatever that happened. But both of us, we never really sat down and figured out what the problem was.
Yeah.
But there was a problem, and it's a very, very personal one.
Yeah.
But I think another thing that makes it, like, that makes me still say no is that, you know, dog, like, it was painful for me to see someone that you were close to, now we split up, and then they're now making fun of you on social media and ish like that. You understand? And while on my side, I was just chilling, focused on the music and etc, you know. And I was like, nah, you know what, like, I can't go back to Hospana Limutoso.
Yeah.
Because of, instead of unprotected or whatever is nah, he went on, dog. He went on. Dog, there was this point in time I actually once saw Bansandela live, Mpura was still alive.
Yeah.
Dog. You know, like, people used to send me so much of those parts.
It's almost as if you could say, please stop sending me because it's affecting me.
We understand.
Yeah.
We understand. And I mean, those kind of things were done publicly.
Yeah.
So I keep taking on, you know what, like,
it's hard to bounce back.
It's hard to bounce back. It's hard to bounce back because on my end, as much as I know what my problems were, I never
put it out.
Did any funny stuff on social media? Hi, this and that, you know. This other time on Twitter, dog, you know, like, it's just a lot. But this other time on Twitter, he made a funny comment. I don't know, but it was about these people being separated by a woman. And then he commented on that, saying, me, like, he put it very so like, it's things like that.
Who child whose hand?
No one.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. No one.
Yeah.
No one.
Josiah.
Bro,
No one.
I want to ask you one question.
No one.
Because now I'm a bit confused. You know,
No one,
I was
bro.
listening to Umsebenzi Wethu and I was just like, was it a district to you?
Hey, Mfethu, you know, till today, let me be honest, till today I'm still as confused.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to that song, dog, me, I don't hear anywhere where they're dissing me, but for them to bring it out like that, no. Yeah.
How do you bring it out?
No, Musbeti and that song is a diss song.
Yeah.
And then now, whoever brought it up, bro, like, it's like, they never stopped the narrative that this song about who were in. They just let everyone think their own things. And then after that, they let that slide.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Or they added more juice into it. You understand?
Yeah, because
So,
they could have addressed it and say, yo,
No,
listen, it's not about him if it wasn't about him. But they kind of left it.
Exactly.
Bro, it's crazy because I was just thinking about when I saw your album title, I just thought to myself, are you talking about Santorini? You know, did you go to Greece and experience something that made you feel like I'm going to name an album after this? Where does Satori come from?
Satori. It actually comes from Baraking, these Japanese Buddhist tradition. You know?
Yeah.
And it really translates to, you know, when someone finds a moment of enlightenment in their life. You know? And that's where it actually really comes from. I was at that point in my life, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I actually even stopped doing. Like, for instance, drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Those were like one of the main factors that affected me in my career.
Yeah.
You know. And I felt like at that point I really needed to take charge of my life.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of things were like going
south.
Yo, bro, you know, like, let me just give an advice to these youngsters. How are you getting the bag? Don't even, you know what, like, maybe don't drink.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it messes you up.
It messes you up.
Yeah.
It messes you up, you know? And that's one thing I've realized. But also, I can't speak for everyone because they can control alcohol.
Yeah.
I was unfortunately part of those that couldn't.
Yeah.
And I realized that my career was not going to even be this had I continued.
Yeah. But, you know, there's a song on your album, I think is the last song on your album that you say speaks to that, speaks to what you're going through with alcohol, and that sort of you connect a lot with that song. I'm just curious to know, Bana, like, how do you come out of the alcohol problem that you have? Because it's, for a lot of people, it's like a pit. You can't come out of it. What did you do different to come out of that alcohol problem that you have, and then like now you're making beautiful music? How do you bring yourself out of that?
Well, first things first, I actually needed to go back to my roots and understand who I am. Why am I doing this music thing again?
Yeah.
And I mean, I won't lie, the split really took a toll on me.
Yeah.
And it affected me so much that it was actually like part of my drinking was actually
dealing with that.
Yeah. And what made me, I mean, over the years you are doing all this beautiful music, you are releasing, I released the beautiful song Mama and ETC, and I checked back then, when I released it, I was like, okay, I've got all this beautiful music, I'm gigging, what do I have?
Yeah. Ish. And what was your response?
I had nothing there. I was just drinking.
Yeah.
So when you say what do I have, you mean you're drinking all the money?
My brother, like, I'd get paid.
Yeah.
Ne? Yeah. Then, okay, obviously, during the week, it's studio sessions, you have that. But obviously, there's alcohol
in the sessions.
In the session. So it was a thing of, even during those sessions, if the alcohol was finished, my brother, I didn't mind being in break.
Yeah. Top it up.
Yeah. So, it's things like that. On the weekend, you have gigs. After the gigs, we must go home or studio session. But and obviously, as an artist, a lot of guys understand. Yeah. So that's how I used to also like do on rehearsals. And no for
real. But bro, like, at what point did you say, yo, this is not okay? There's something wrong right now.
Yeah, you see, as I said, because I had to wake up this one morning, and check it into like how far.
I've been doing this thing.
I've been doing this, and if you look at your peers are moving.
Yeah.
They are doing this, they are doing that. You just doing the same routine over and over again. Regardless of studio, it's just studio and drinking, gigs, studio and drinking.
Yeah.
There's no other thing that you are doing. And there's how we born in Riava.
And do you have a child by then? Because you have a daughter now. You had a child at that point.
I had a child then.
How has fatherhood like changed your perspective on your life? How has being a father to this beautiful girl like changed your life?
To the positive, because now I also had to cut down a lot of things. Like she's actually part of the reason why I also had to stop alcohol. Coming home, you drunk now, you child can see you in that state every weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is not the family that I want. And I had to change my values there.
Yeah.
And much of it was that value. Every time I get so you have this family, but you have got nothing to show for it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Let me come back and find my purpose again, And immediately when I left alcohol, my bro, that's when I started to see
change in your life.
Yes.
Your album went gold a couple months. There's an album that you posted that went gold.
Yeah.
That's like some of the signs of your life progressing in the right direction. How did that feel for you? That's a big milestone in the music industry.
Very much so, bro, because of, as an artist, let me just say for me, those are like accolades that show that you're doing something, It's like when a house partner 925 Utola certificates are sponsor.
Yeah.
It boosts morale.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening with that album that you saw. It's doing exactly the same thing. It's just boosting all this morale in me and reminding me that, you know what, dog, like you still got it. People are listening.
You're the man, my brother. You're the man. It hasn't fair to. I just want to bring something really important to me because when I study your catalog, and I say study because you're 9 albums in, you're 9 projects in, and I just feel like it's not a small thing. It takes a lot to get to a point where you can actually say I have a catalog with 9 projects. But like, there's one thing that really stands out to me when I look at your music is like the spiritualness of your music, and I see that even with the titling of some of your projects, you can actually see that this person really has a connection with, you know, whatever he deems his divine intervention or whatever. But I'm just quite curious, how does spirituality play a role in your music?
Well, the spiritual side of the thing of my music comes from my mother. My mother is a very very spiritual person.
Yeah.
And she grew up in Mutora Tanghuya Kerekeng. She used to also joined the church choir.
Yeah.
Used to sing music called Clap and Tap.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the type of gospel songs that I also fell in love with, you know.
Yeah.
But I realized that, you know, all this spiritual side is actually, it stems from my mother.
Yeah.
So what I do is that I try by all means to continue that flow by, you know when you're intentional about something.
Yeah.
So I bring in people like Bonobuhle, people that I know who they are in their elements, dog, when it comes to like spiritual music.
She did your intro on your latest album.
Yes.
Woo! That intro is fireworks, bro. That intro, you know, I listened to it again today when I woke up in the morning, and I was just like, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
I think you took it beyond piano. And I think for me, that really speaks to how musical you are as a person. Because, you know, like, it's very easy for you to say, I need to keep it within just like the format, the sequence, it needs to still sound like piano. But I think that introduction for me was such a powerful moment, because I just felt like, wow, you know, like, you have to really function in a different mind frame to be able to produce something like this.
Yeah.
Please just walk us through what drew you to that. Like, what happened with that specific introduction? Because that's like, it's a very powerful introduction.
You know, it was actually a full proper song.
Yeah.
You know, Bushle came, we did a whole lot of songs at that time, you know.
Yeah.
And it was really a simple, nice beat. But now, I was also starting to prepare for this album, you know. Foot at that time album, we named it Satori now. It was called a different name back then, you know, because also the songs were not complete.
Yeah.
But the intro, it was a full song. It was not even sounding like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, working towards the album, I kept going back to my old projects and seeing what is it that I can change to make it sound fresh, revive it to like Style Sano, you know.
Yeah.
I think we recorded Messiah 2023, early 2023.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was just something about what she was saying that was touching my soul, you know.
Yeah.
And when I listened to that song, you could actually hear that it was a prayer.
Yeah.
You know, and that prayer is so relevant to me, you know.
It is.
And when I listened to it, I was like, no, the people need to hear this.
Yeah.
People need to hear it, and it needs to be a first song.
No, it transports you to a different world.
Yeah.
It definitely does that. Bro, I just because we're running out of time, but I need you to tell us, why should people listen to Satori? What can they expect from Satori? Because it's an album that's out there, but like, why is it a special album to you?
It's a special album because I actually took time producing this type of piano.
Yeah.
I found myself producing other styles of piano, you know, but those were not speaking to me, you know.
Yeah.
And I got reminded by the fans that, no, bro, you must go back to the Josiah that
we know.
Yeah, you know. And I actually want to take this time and say shout out to the fans, because they're the ones that actually put me in my element again. You know? And having to create this album, bro, it was like such a phenomenal thing. We actually did a studio camp.
Yeah.
People came through, and yeah, it was so magical. It's like it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
How long did it take to create the project?
To be honest, because of some songs I started like long time ago, I'd say two years.
2 years. 2 years.
2 years.
Bro, you guys should check it out. It's available on all streaming platforms. We want to play a little quick game before you bounce. It's a game called Who Got, so it basically means who the greatest, according to you. So, who is the greatest SA hip hop artist of all time, dead or alive?
Oh, AKA.
AKA?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. No, without a fail.
What's
AKA.
the dopest, if we took out Satori from your catalog, what's the dopest Josiah album of all time? Satori excluded, because I know you're going to say that's the dopest. Satori excluded, what's the dopest Josiah album?
Spirits of Makwela, Volume 2.
What's special about it for you?
Because of I was coming out from a split, so I was reintroducing myself as
Yeah.
that spiritual solo artist, you
Yeah.
know. And that album actually worked out. People really, they found me and they loved me.
Wow, love that. The dopest, who's the GOAT in Amapiano right now? You excluded.
The?
The GOAT. Who is the greatest of all time in Amapiano right now?
Yo. Yes, that's a hard one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna make me step on
No. Just throw a name. Who do you consider the GOAT?
Yo, you know what? I feel like the game is open right now.
Yeah.
Maybe if you asked me this 2 years back,
Yeah.
I'd give you a straight answer. Right now,
So who was it 2 years back?
nearly Kabza.
Okay.
Kabza. But now I think yes, yeah.
Who do you think is competing with Kabza now?
Musically.
Yeah.
Nobody. Okay, cool. Let's move on.
You know why? Nobody. Because of now I'm thinking of the type of styles he can do.
Yeah.
You know, he's in like all these other
Yeah.
genres, you know. And these other people are like focused on like one subject,
Yeah.
like soul food,
Yeah.
etc. So I'm trying to compare him with someone that
Who's able to extend
all-round-
himself in all these other areas.
Nobody's competing with Kabza.
Yeah. So what's your most favorite Josiah Amapiano song of all time? Like if you look at your catalog, what's your favorite song? The one song that you say, yo, this song is my song.
And I'm fit.
Yeah, I didn't know, bro. I didn't know because you know your catalog better. But what song do you connect with the most from your catalog?
It's gonna be from the new album.
Okay.
There's a song I did with Toshi, it's titled Buyani. That and another one called Hamba Netlozi featuring Henny Billet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
these are-
special about those two songs?
Just the production behind it, especially Buyani. It takes you on a journey, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when you sit down, you listen to it, you can hear that it's elevated.
Yeah.
Like from the first seconds to the last, bro. You can hear that. Yeah, here we are going. It's storytelling.
Yeah.
And Hamba Netlozi, it's the same thing. And what I love about that is that it gives you courage to also like when you believe go matlozi ngaga, you know.
Yeah.
It celebrates that spiritual side, ancestral side of people. Then
Yeah.
we know that generally, not a lot of people.
Believe in that.
You know.
Or pursue that. Okay. Terry, you have another thing? You're a soccer person?
Oh yeah.
Who is the greatest South African soccer player of all time?
Can you get goat of all time? Can you get Messi?
So your GOAT is global is Messi.
Yeah, global.
Locally, who do you have?
Temba Zwane.
Why Temba Zwane?
He's too much. He's too much. Like I'm not a Sundowns fan. I actually favor Pirates.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I've seen Temba Zwane play. He's unique in the way he does things, you know.
Yeah.
With just how he plays, how he connects to the other players, bro. Like he does his own thing there. Bro.
Yeah.
He's like the odd one out.
Yeah.
But he
But
does
he's killing it.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah.
Bro.
And the greatest South African football club of all time?
Football club.
Yeah.
No, I'll go with Paris.
Are you sure, bro?
Eh?
Are you sure?
Over Sundowns.
Over
Sundowns.
Yeah.
I'm a Pirate fan, though. I can't
Makes
betray my
sense.
team.
Okay.
I can't betray my team.
Love it. Love it.
That was great. Just before we go, just one more question.
Yeah.
Outside of you, just from your observation of the game,
Yeah.
why do you think so many people have hate towards Maphorisa in the industry?
Hate.
This hate, this narrative that's pushed about him in the industry, even though he's been on top for so long.
I think, from my view, the way Nakbonanka thing, it's just all these other small things that are infiltrating like his career. Like, you know, you hear these stories, you know, and I mean, the more of these stories come out, obviously you you start having a bad image.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think it's on a fella because of even if you look at track record there in terms of music career, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
So it's just maybe just all these small things.
But
and not to say you know, but it's unfortunate that it happened to him and it came out that way.
Yeah. So you know it's funny because when I look at his situation, I've come to this very like weird position on it. I feel like in the music business, he is probably like a reference point that's within reach. So if you think about like music labels, you probably in Amapiano space, you probably think of Pori But like if it was like a Sony or Universal or whatever, you might not be able to connect with the owner. But if you look at like the business dynamic of it to say, listen, I've created this space. You have studio time. You have all the expenses that tie to your recording session, and that needs to be recouped at a point. It's a business, if you really think about it. But I think him, it's like, you can point him, you can see him, you can touch him, but you might not be able to do that with like a Sony exec or like a Universal owner or whatever. And I feel like when people see you and connect with you that way, it's easier for them to point fingers at you, because it's someone that you can attribute to what's not happening in your life.
Yes.
But if it was a label, you can say, hey, Sony Yankawata, But who's Sony really? It's a brand.
It's a brand.
But it's easier to say Pori because that you can point. That's how I look at it.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, he's like the face of his business.
He's the face of his business.
Yeah,
so, but brother,
that's why it's unfortunate. But I mean, but what about and I mean, we've recently seen one again, but I won't mention names.
That's tough.
This was a beautiful conversation, gentlemen.
Yeah,
you guys. This I wish we had more time, but
more time.
He's a family man.
Yeah.
Your little one.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Bro. Like, it was beautiful to speak to you. I can't wait to see what this album does, because I mean, your track record really. You've done extremely well for yourself, and I mean, just also acknowledging the environment that you come from, because like it's not many people who make it coming from Kasi, where you come from, and I think it's dope to see you win. It's dope to see you at the top of your game and just refinding yourself and really killing it. So all the best, brother. We can't wait to see
no, shout out, man. I mean, just want to put it out there, like growing up in the township, we lack research, we lack information, and I mean, we're in this day and age where we actually now they have so much access to the internet.
Yeah.
So let's use that.
Yeah.
Let's use that. Like if I want to knowledge just something, bro, music wise or it's available on the internet.
Yeah.
Go check it out, bro.
Yeah.
Don't Josiah or just go there, it'll give you accurate information.
I'm going to chat GPT now, so you can just like chat GPT your questions there, and bang, you get the info that you want. Yes.
So yeah, let's get out there, search for this information. Body Samro Kapaso, just learn how the music business works. Learn how to approach like a mainstream artist.
Yeah.
The ins and outs, you
know
how to actually approach them.
Yeah. Hasn't fair, there was one question that I wanted to ask that I completely forgot about. At what point did you get your biggest check, and what did you do with your biggest check? The money that you felt like, no, like, the money that you looked at and really felt like, this is big. What do you do with what do you do with the big check?
My first biggest check, it came in when we were still at Jazzy Disciples.
Yeah.
I used the priority to extend the house.
Oh man, that's dope.
So yeah, those like
Hennessy.
I started doing those after, but
that's how you use your first real big bag.
The first real bag, the first real one, where I was like, okay, Serahola monthly. I bought
bricks and extended it. All the best, brother. It's been beautiful talking to you.
Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Shout out to the show. May it grow bigger than what it is.
Continue
pushing.
We appreciate it.
Shout out.